what the Church of Scientology is so afraid of.
This is SPTV.
SPTV is back with, well, this is our special Tuesday edition of Monday Night Live. And it's the first time we're doing this one with Amy. Welcome, Amy.
Yes, thank you so much. Nice to be here with the
Hi, guys.
gentlemen. I'm going to keep everybody in line tonight.
Oh, listen to this. Like Claire does that when she's here. Mhm.
Yeah.
We let them think they do.
Yes.
Okay, general public announcement first. The new lights from Maria, now that I am home, are installed. Look at those things, and I can change the color. Like,
Wow.
It's got this app that is pretty damn cool. I can just go in here and like,
Oh, now check that out.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that was making your camera wig out a little. One of those colors made your camera freak out a little bit.
oh,
And
I can do themes, all sorts of stuff here. It's pretty amazing.
Totally uncoordinated. I also changed my lights too. I switched
Oh,
from
you
red
got
to
blue.
blue.
I
I'm going
like
to
the
do it every
blue.
month. The beginning of every month, I'm switching to a different color.
Well, mine's curtains, so it's going to stay green for a while.
Yeah. What made you decide to go blue? Is that because someone said cool in the back, warm in the front?
No,
Um,
that's because Maria said, I think blue looks great.
There you
And
go.
she sent me the lights, so I did blue.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I meant Mark changed from like
Oh,
devil
Mark.
red to Smurf blue.
Well, I had blue when I was at the hotel, and so many people like the blue. I was like, I'll switch to the blue when I get home.
Nice. All right, so what's going on with you guys?
Oh, I'm taking care of the fort here. I lost my my better half to Los Angeles. I had to share her with that place, and so yeah, I've been running around like a crazy person, doing science projects and all kinds of other things with the boys. So yeah,
Oh, that's right. So you're Mr. Mom for the next couple days.
yeah.
And so at the end of court today, Judge Almeida said to Philip Cohen, you have 45 more minutes tomorrow morning and you're done.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh.
And she said, we're going to do very brief redirect, very brief recross. And that means Claire will be up before lunchtime.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know I've heard, oh, maybe it'll be, Wednesday and Thursday. I'm sorry. And I don't, since when does an expert witness take more than, one day on the stand? That hasn't been the case. Maybe they really want to dig into the Scientology stuff, but I don't know. She could be done tomorrow.
Oh, I'm predicting she will absolutely be done tomorrow. If they are smart, they will avoid Claire at all costs.
Exactly.
It's going to be a bad news downhill slide if they try and challenge her on Scientology.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
if they want to ask her about specifics, she will have days of specifics.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't pretend to know. I don't talk about it with Claire. I don't know anything. So I'm not going to make any predictions except for when she's done, she'll come home.
Yep.
That's
hope.
good.
Fingers
And we're
crossed.
going to count on Aaron to give us all the scoop.
Yes.
Yeah. And so actually, I obviously can give any scoop on anything that I see in the courtroom, obviously.
Mhm.
But what we don't know, and it sounds like you guys haven't spoken about even something like this, Mark.
Yeah.
I don't know if Claire, I hope she can Claire jump on with you and do a video with you about this is what I did, this is what it was like, this is what I think, or can she do a debrief? Of course you can, right? Because she's just, if I can do it, she can do it.
I think after she's done, or I want to say after the trial is done.
Yeah.
Because if she has to go back,
it seems unfair that I'll be able to talk about it, but she won't.
but that's okay.
Yeah, but you're not there as a witness or an expert.
Not on the stand.
And the thing that she can't do during the trial, at least, is come out and make statements that would indicate that she is not that she has some personal bent in the matter, rather than she testified to the facts that were being asked of her as an expert in an unbiased fashion. Now, unbiased doesn't mean it's good for Scientology, but she can't be perceived as being a biased expert. She has to be a fair expert.
Yeah.
Right.
Tell the truth. So she has to be kind of careful. Like, she doesn't want to, and I would tell her, don't say anything. Just
we've already agreed.
Chill. And, that way you absolutely can't get into any trouble.
Yeah. We've already agreed that we're not going to talk about anything about this case until there's a ruling in the case.
Yes. I think that's very smart, Marc.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be my advice to her too.
Scientology will use any excuse they can find under the sun, moon, and stars to make this a mistrial or have a reason for walking it back, or you name it. That's their only hope, is to kind of make this thing so we don't hear all the facts.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. That is interesting. Let's see. I don't know. Do you guys have any questions for me about trial stuff, or do you just want to start answering questions?
Well, I was just going to tell you guys, I did a video the other day about, after the video we did, Aaron, I talked about the kids making the e-meters.
Yeah. I saw that.
And I asked in the video, I said, hey, I know some of you kids are out there. If you guys are watching this video, reach out and give me the skinny. They did. And I have so much more information on what went down. And it's so much that I have to do a whole nother follow-up video. And but down to David Miscavige going to the ranch. He went to the ranch and he was doing an inspection. That's where they had all the kids that were the children of Sea Org members that worked at the Ent base. He went to the ranch and he asked somebody, what do you see? And the other person that was with him say, I just see a bunch of kids. He goes, I don't see any kids. I see a bunch of people that could be working on e-meters.
Oh boy. Mm-hmm.
And that's how they ended up at the Ent base, fixing and building e-meters.
And we should audit him on some of those e-meters the kids built.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, and then I got so much more information. And even how the backlog, because we used to have all these meters, and how the backlog was created by David Miscavige. Everything it's all him. And every path leads to David Miscavige.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a follow-up video. Hopefully I can do that tomorrow. But anyway, it was very crazy. And also I got reached out to some other people in relation to the e-meter, which I'm going to talk about in the video. And it is actually, I'm going to bring it up right now and ask Mike. Mike, do you know if there's any reason on why Scientology would send the e-meter to an engineering company to have it reverse engineered?
The only reason I can think for that, Marc, is to figure out whether someone else is going to be able to do it and steal it. Okay.
That was one of the reasons I had. The other reason was if they didn't pay the designers who designed it with the software and everything, if they didn't get all of the stuff and then they went to go build it somewhere else and they didn't have something they needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
But that could be very likely.
But I think the first reason is probably the most likely.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the other thing was that one of the people that holds the patent on the e-meter is a gentleman who is arguably maybe technically the smartest person on that entire property. His name was Bruce Plotz, and he was a technician, and he was a mad genius in terms of.
He still is.
I love Bruce Plotz.
My company
I worked with him for years.
Yeah, my company has hired him to do work for us because he's so genius. But he was one of the patent holders on the e-meter.
No kidding.
So,
I never knew that.
Yeah. If you look up the patent, his name is right there on it.
Wow. So, go Bruce.
I don't know if that's another reason why they needed to maybe change the design in a little bit of a way so that it wouldn't be under his patent.
Bruce needs to get himself some of that
Yeah, trust me. I'm investigating this fully to find out if Bruce has any do-re-mi coming in his way.
Bruce has done the most amazing comments on my blog.
Yeah,
every time he comments on my blog, it's like one of those things, and you go, "Oh yeah, exactly."
Yeah. What was your question, Aaron?
Has anyone asked Bruce how he managed to get his name on a patent for the e-meter? That, I mean,
he designed all the circuit boards that were used for anything in Scientology.
Back in 1955? I mean, the e-meter's been around since...
No. For the Mark Super 7.
Yeah.
Mark 7, Quantum, all those.
Whittle.
Yeah. I think I want to say that Bruce was around since the Mark 6.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
He
was in LA before he came to the base, and he
exactly
might have worked at Bridge on the Mark 6. I can find out from him, but either way, at least the Super 7, the Quantum, and the Mark 8, he would have been there for.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
And they all went from the design of the Mark 5, which was, I don't know what you call it, solid state Mark, something like that. And then they got transistorized basically in circuit boards. And Bruce was the one that did the circuit board designs to replace the moving mechanical parts that were in the old Mark 5 e-meter.
Yes. That's exactly right.
Let me tell you, I'll tell you one thing about that whole time period. So when I was busted one of my millions of times from the Watchdog Committee, they put me on post. I was posted in gold as the circuit board assembly in charge, not knowing a single thing about electronics. And so Bruce Plotz was my mentor, and he helped me figure it out because we had worked together on building the sound studio, and I did all the electrical and electronics logistics for that project, and Bruce and I worked in the same office. Anyway, so one time, I'll just tell this little tidbit, which is, we basically are soldering little, connections onto these circuit boards, and but Tom Cruise was going to come for a walkthrough of the property. So all of a sudden, like 50 people are added into the area where I worked, all put into uniforms that they didn't normally wear, and they come in here. I turn on this big wave soldering machine, which we never used, and we're like ramming things through it that we're not even going to sell or anything, just to like make it look like something's happening. And so he could be paraded through like a peacock, and everyone's like standing at attention, and just, it's a complete facade. They're just stroking each other nonstop.
It's funny that they play movie magic even for Tom Cruise.
Right.
Everything is about movie magic. Golden Era is always about appearances and how it looks. Even to a guy that's from that world, they still put all these actors in there and prop it up and do it like make believe to show off for Tom Cruise. And that's the world that he lives in. And they just like, whatever, he won't know.
And then change your uniform and then go to the next department.
I remember because I worked in manufacturing. There was so many times when, like, if who was it that came one time? Oh, it was when the Nightline, when that Ted Koppel show, we did the same thing for that. We had all these people from areas that ABC were not going to go to. People from those areas got dressed up and went to other areas to make it look like they were full. And it wasn't just like 3 people making e-meters for the whole world.
And of course, as soon as they leave the room, those people scuttle back to the galley to cook the lunch. Or they're off digging the weeds.
Another thing I was going to say, Aaron, is that when you did that video about the number of Scientologists, another thing that's a real key metric, and I meant to mention it in my other e-meter video, and I'll mention it on the next one I do, but there's serial numbers on every single e-meter. So exactly how many we've made. And when I was there, it was in the 30,000s. That's how many e-meters total had ever been made. And every Scientologist that uses an e-meter they are all it's encouraged, but it's sort of it's a rule in Scientology that you're supposed to have two. You're supposed to have your one you use,
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
supposed to have a backup. So if we only made 30,000, then and everybody's supposed to have two, that pegs the number of Scientologists at around 15,000. Because if you're not
every auditor is supposed to have two, but
exactly,
most
but
Scientologists aren't auditors.
that's true. But if you're going up the bridge and you're an active Scientologist, it is assumed that you also purchase an e-meter and you audit a little bit too. So I'm just saying it's not.
Yeah.
That was
so.
You know,
what I want to do, and I just haven't taken the time. I wanted to take your e-meter figure because I've heard you say that before.
Yeah.
And I wanted to actually build a spreadsheet similar to one that I did for members, and I wanted to do because orgs will buy meters.
That's right, and that's what I was going to say.
They have them in stock.
That's right.
The stock, but also not just stock in the bookstore. Like you've got your call meter, your exam meter, your academy meter, all that stuff, your DER review. And I wanted to do an estimate of how many e-meters are just baked into the infrastructure of Scientology, and then figure out how many more meters must have been purchased beyond that, and kind of back into what does it mean exactly? Like how does one number match up with the other number? And it's going to take some time.
Totally.
But it'll be
Marc,
fun.
They also
serial
have
numbers go from the Mach 5 to the Mach 6 to the Mach 7 to the
no.
Mach 8?
Each one has its own separate set of
there's 30,000 Mach 8. That was what you were saying, or 30,000 Mach 7.
Well, yeah, this was Mark 7s when we were there, but I remember when they made the Mark 8s, they only made a fixed number, and even those, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't more than we had ever made of the Mark 7s, so it was a lesser number.
Yeah.
So either way, and the other thing I was going to say, Aaron, is even the LRH offices in all the orgs, they have an e-meter on the desk.
Yes, that's exactly
and
right.
they're usually a special planetary Decem version, like the metal plated versions.
Yep.
For like $20,000.
Yeah.
For L. Ron Hubbard.
Can we go back to the putting on the show for Tom Cruise? Because these things shouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just hits you a little different. Here's the thing. I've always wondered, like, does Miscavige, and I feel like you've answered the question with your Tom Cruise story. When Miscavige is coming through the pack base and all the orgs drop everything and white glove everything and they stuff the course rooms, you have to go, Miscavige knows he's being lied to, right? And I guess there's a part of me that's like, well, maybe he doesn't. And then you're like, wait, he lies for Tom Cruise. He knows damn well everyone's lying for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well,
like, what's the point of doing an inspection if all you're asking for is for everyone to lie to you?
He does surprise inspections.
Yeah.
He likes to catch people off guard because he knows that people will try to pull the wool over his eyes.
But there is another part to it too, Aaron. The very fact of him going around and being lied to and the course rooms being stuffed and et cetera, is everybody is in on it. And it reinforces this idea that within Scientology, we all do the wink, wink. We all know that it's bullshit, but we keep telling one another that it's really great, that everything is going wonderful. The orgs are full. We're clearing the planet. There's more demand for Scientology. And even that part of the charade plays into the bigger picture of the charade. They know they're bullshitting him. He knows he's bullshitting them. Then you come to the end events. They all know he's bullshitting them. He knows he's bullshitting them. And they're all up, jumping up and down, giving standing ovations and rah-rahing one another because that's the shtick that goes on in Scientology. It's like everybody lies to everybody and everybody knows it, but it's just, that's how it is.
Yeah. I think that might even be why it's so easy for them to lie to the media and to lie to the authorities and for them to lie to each other. It's sort of part of the culture that you fake it till you make it kind of thing. That is Scientology in a nutshell. They're all just faking it. There's no way you could watch these events, event after event and after event, and hear David Miscavige talking about the millions and millions of people that are getting into Scientology. And then you go to your org and the clay is still in the wrapper from the org opening that happened 8 months ago.
But guys,
Right.
am I the only one who thought everything in the events was true? Was it just me?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
you gullible fool.
Anybody that worked at INT knew it's all movie magic. Though even the org openings, like when we would open an org, or we would have an org that went St. Hill size and we would do a video on it, there were times when they would just grab people off the street and say, hey, if you want to be in you want to be on TV, you want to be in a video, and they see all the cameras and everything, and then they're like, oh yeah, and then you just come in and they just sit down at a table and you tell them, here, put these headphones on, and they're listening to a lecture, but not really. And yeah, and that's what we would shoot, and that's the video that would show at the event. It's just some rando off the street sitting in the course room studying.
Guys, I just want to recount something because it reminded me. Shortly after the Berlin Wall fell, I went to Berlin with David Miscavige, Norman Starkey, Marc Jaeger, Guillaume Leserve to do an inspection. And we went to East Berlin. And it was like very soon, like maybe a month after the wall fell. And when you drive into East Berlin at that time, where the wall was, within the first half a mile, it was all modern buildings. Everything was clean. It all looked perfect. I mean, there wasn't a piece of paper on the street. And we drove another mile into the places that you couldn't see from the west. The houses and the apartments, they still had bullet holes in them from World War II. Literally. It was just run down. The whole thing was a show. And it was a show to prove that their way, their system, their technology was superior, and demonstrate that to the West. And they did it with their athletes, and they did, it was all propped up bullshit to pretend and make them feel better about what they were doing. Like, yeah, see, look how superior we are. And that is a Scientology trait too. They love to tell themselves that they are incredibly superior to everybody else. Just look at all the stuff that we're doing. Look at the amazing accomplishments we have. Look at how we're clearing the planet. Our orgs are full, etc., etc., etc. It's just like East Germany.
Wow.
Incredible. Wow. That's a great story. I mean, how cool was it to be in East Germany like that?
It was pretty cool. And it was very weird. Like it was like you went from West Berlin, which at the time was still like very enclosed and sort of an enclave that sat in the middle of East Germany. Big wall, but now the wall isn't there. We drove through Checkpoint Charlie, and it's still just like it was in the movies. The barbed wire, the big open stretch, the barbed wire, the guardhouses on either side, the people meeting in the middle of the bridge. It was it was kind of bizarre and kind of eye-opening to see how terrible the real state of the communist countries was. Just, it was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And they drove these little Trabant cars that were like little 2-cylinder, pumping out diesel fumes, 14 horsepower. It was a weird place.
Guys, there's a comment that keeps catching my eye that I just want to throw up here because it's kind of cracking me up. Can we talk about how Giovanni Ribisi is in a show about Waco called The Aftermath?
What?
No.
It's called
Really
Waco.
is?
It's called Waco, The Aftermath.
Oh, I watched
Wow.
that show. I didn't realize Giovanni Ribisi was in that.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, no,
he
that
is.
must be another one that I watched, the documentary one.
Yeah. Anyway, That's a little crazy.
That is crazy.
Also, Mike, I do have to show this. A Trabant is 25.8 horsepower.
Oh, sorry.
somebody got
Oh, I love our audience.
A Trabant expert was like, "What? That's
What did I say?
horsepower."
14?
15.
Yeah, well, I was
Can't get away with.
I was dissing them badly.
Yeah. We got some really eagle eyes in here tonight.
Yeah. Can't get away with anything.
Are you guys ready to do some questions? We're already up to 50 questions and we already have 30. I'm telling you, Aaron, I remember the good old days. We would literally jump up and down if we had 2,500 people in the chat, and we're only a few minutes in and we got 3,400 in here right now. So
can you remind me what our record was last time?
It was I think it was 4,600 and something.
46 or something.
Yeah. Wow, you got a
46.
46.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, we should have everybody get on 4 different devices so that every single one of our channels is being watched at the same time.
Hold on. Amy, you don't need 4 different devices. You can just open 4 different browser tabs.
Sounded more dramatic.
But let's see. Do we have any giveaways that we're going to do this time?
We forgot to organize that.
I can give away one of my books, Scientology Abuse at the Top.
Okay.
Because
How about we give away 4 of them?
Sure, we can.
Well, she's trying to sell them.
She's trying to sell them.
What about Mike's book?
This is promo cost. Yeah, Mike, you got a book?
I have a book.
Oh.
Mark has a book.
I tell you what,
I
got
do.
a book.
Yeah.
At the end, I will give away a signed book.
There you go.
Okay, good.
Yes.
You can send me what you want me to say in it.
Awesome.
Yes.
This is not a giveaway, but I did want to show it off because I was just sent it today from Marilyn Honig. This is a volcano with body thetans coming out of it. And this is a soul catching device right here at the top.
Don't get too close to it.
This is no, these are tasty.
So that's you want to call it a BT catcher?
No, it has a name.
Soul
It's
catcher.
called Volcano Body Thetans and Soul Catcher. That is the actual proper nomenclature per the OT3 South Park. This is actually very close. I think South Park is the template for all of these. Whatever was in South Park is what gets
so guys
crocheted.
That reminds me, brings up an important question here. Is a BT if it's not stuck to a B?
Oh, I think it is.
Like,
yes, it is.
So the BTs can be blowing in the solar winds and they're still BTs.
It's like a tadpole. It's still a frog, but it's a tadpole right now.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. I love it. That's the perfect analogy.
You know, the best part is we were arguing about something about this the other day, and somebody was like, why are we arguing over the facts of it? Isn't this all bullshit?
Yes.
It's like, yeah, that's a good point.
Well, we're sort of
It's
arguing.
expensive bullshit, though.
Yeah,
Very,
exactly.
very.
We need to be technically correct when we talk about this bullshit.
Yeah.
All right,
Tadpoles.
so let's see. We got Stephanie Sandoval. Thank you for the super sticker, Stephanie Sandoval. Jerry Nodine, aka Sarasota Jerry. Hi, everyone. Amy, I enjoyed your video of your testimony. Thanks. SPTV rocks.
Yeah, thank you.
Amy, I got to tell you, you got the Christian market cornered for SPTV. That is for sure.
Woo!
Yeah.
I have a lot of people writing to me and contacting me, and I love it, and I welcome it.
I think it's great because anytime anyone asks us about our religious beliefs, we don't have anything good to say. So,
well, we don't have anything bad to say. We don't
have much to say at all.
Just taking a break from organized religion.
I know. So it's refreshing for someone to actually have something. I mean, I guess everything we have to say is worthwhile, but you guys know what I mean. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And plus, Mark, I have taken a massive break from organized religion. I don't belong to any organization or any church. No one claims me, nothing besides God.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm not my PTSD with organized religion, I think, is sufficient that, I I just can't go there right now, but I have a relationship with God. And so that's just as strong as can be. And that's really all that matters to me.
Nice. Well
Yeah.
said.
Thank you.
By the
Just
way,
because you said it, how ironic is it that PTSD has PTS in it?
I know. That's very true, actually. Didn't think of that before.
Someone who's more expert in this subject than me will have to check. What is PTS type D? Because Scientology has a PTSD.
Oh, I'll look it
Yeah.
up because I have the dictionaries here. So I'm going to look
by
it
the way,
up.
while I'm distracted by shiny objects, Mike, do you have 4 lights or is it one giant light?
Okay. It comes in these strips, and there is 4 strips. Well, there's actually 3 in a pack, and Maria actually sent an extra one. So there is 4 light strips. Only 3 of them are attached, are in play right now. I'll show you. Here is one. This is another one.
Oh, so it's literally just an LED.
They have little connectors, so you can just connect them. They got sticky on the back.
I want that.
I should have known. My kids have those up in their rooms and stuff.
I was going to say, Caden, Kale, and Grayson all have those around their
Well,
their room.
so do Jack and Shane, cool. But they're not this cool. They have the cheapo ones from,
Five Below.
Yeah, exactly. The ski shop.
Okay. This is I like this next one. Let's check it out. Mike, Aaron, any theory on why L. Ron Hubbard preferred a camper in his late years instead of the open sea or South America? With the latter, he could have ruled over more disciples directly, face to face, from Fabian and Deal. What's your thoughts on this, Mike?
I think he was hoping that Miscavige would pull off the all clear and he would be able to magically reappear. I think also another big factor was his physical condition. He wanted to have Gene Denk on hand and available to him at all times. That was the only doctor that he trusted to deal with him in any way, shape, or form. I think that he was worried that if he left the US, he may never get back or would get caught on the way out. I think there was a lot of factors, but also I think that he, despite his claims to all-knowing, all-seeing omnipotence, he didn't think things through very well. Like, he did things that were not that smart in some cases. And, I think he just kind of went with the flow. We're rushing out of here in the middle of the night because I heard that Mike and Kimmer Douglas blew from the X apartment, so we got to get away because they might have gone straight to the FBI. And he just jumps in a car, and the getaway car waiting, and drives to Newport Beach, and then goes, now what? Oh, Pat, we need to buy a mobile home so we can go. We need to be on the road. So, a suitcase full of cash shows up. They go buy a suitcase full of cash worth of mobile bus, jumps in the bus, and they start driving. I mean, I think that probably is about the level of planning that was involved in that.
Yeah. When you talk about him not thinking things through, it has always occurred to me how silly it was that L. Ron Hubbard essentially, during those exile years, put himself in a situation where he could be so manipulated through information control. And I was like, what? That seems common sense to me. This guy's supposed to be brilliant. He's letting himself be poisoned with false reports about people who are really loyal to him. I'm like, that sounds stupid.
Yeah. And he's the guy that invented the data series.
Right.
I don't know if this is broad public, information, but when we were at the Ent base and they were doing these seances in the hole where all the Ent executives were confessing to their crimes on a regular basis, one of the times that I was in one of these meetings, a bunch of people started saying how the stats that L. Ron Hubbard based the birthday game issue on were false reported to him. Those stats never actually took place. And people started saying that Mark Yeager and Gillham were confessing that these statistics that they reported up to L. Ron Hubbard were fake stats, and they never actually occurred. And then L. Ron Hubbard then wrote the birthday game issue based on those false stats.
Wait, were Mark and Gillham at Old St. Hill?
No, but in order for that issue to be written, someone had to go back and find out what the stats were at Old St. Hill in order for the new game, for Hubbard to be able to lay out this game. And
they couldn't say 0.
They couldn't say that there were only 15 students on the briefing course, or that the GI was just $20,000 a week, or that there were 17 new starts in a month. They had to come up with numbers that sounded impressive, because Ron ran Old St. Hill and claimed that it was the largest, biggest, most kick-ass, etc., blah, blah, blah. And so they had to come up with numbers that would satisfy that. And that's what they did.
So that's the callback to this fake make-believe. Everything's make-believe. Everyone's lying to each other. But that's not the punchline. The punchline was that when everybody was confessing these things to David Miscavige, like, oh, this is the big crime that everyone's confessing, he was like, ho hum. He's like, yeah, I already knew that. I've known that for years. Like, tell me something I don't know. And I was in the meeting. I was I was from gold. So I didn't know any of this stuff, but I'm sitting there in the meeting going, wait a minute. The birthday game was based on bullshit. And it was not only bullshit, but LRH was basically believing that these things happened, even though he was there and he knew they didn't happen.
Well, and that's where I was going to go with this. Is I go, we can say Mark and Gillham lied to LRH, but I go, LRH was there at the time.
Exactly.
How could he either not remember?
He wasn't supposed to keep track of that sort of minutia.
You are so amazing, sir.
Anyway, it was like the Matrix. It was like, what?
Oh my God.
Oh, and in that issue, or 3399-1, whichever one it is, he talks about, well, it wasn't just me that did it. It was also Boston. If you knew, do you know what Boston, Aaron, you've read that issue, and Boston is like, yeah, this is the cool thing. Do you know who the people were that were sent to Boston?
You told me this story.
They were the Crims from the postulate check era. Alex Sibursky, Kerry Gleason, Bill Franks. I mean, these guys that had been brought to the Apollo because they had been false reporting the GI in LA $200,000 a week by getting people to write postulate checks.
You got to say what that is.
Checks that they wrote saying, I will have the money in my account at some time in the future, and then you can cash it. And they were taking those checks and counting them as the gross income.
It's like a hopeful.
When this all happened, they were all brought to the Apollo, and Hubbard convened a committee of evidence on them with the recommendations to be whether they should all be declared or not. As I recall, the Kamev said they should all be declared, and Hubbard mitigated it and said, if you go I'm going to send you guys to Boston, and if you get 2% of the population of Boston into the central files, you will not be declared. And they went and pushed the living hell out of Boston. They got they made a bunch of money. They sent it to Flag. They were sending like $20,000 a week to Flag. They became the big heroes. They were all brought back to Flag, and Boston collapsed again, back to how it was before they got there.
Right.
And that was the great success story.
And St. Hill collapsed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why all of this stuff about Scientology, that they actually believe that they're expanding, and 5.4x and all these things, it's all made up.
Even
All
the
of it.
success stories are all based on lies.
It's just literally, it's all made up. It's all reports, false reports.
I mean,
There's also this massive lie that I'm going to probably do YouTube about tomorrow or the day after about Miscavige. Like this thing came up, it was his birthday on
Mike,
Sunday.
real quick. When you start talking, I'm hearing audio problems. Who's not wearing earphones?
Not me. I'm wearing earphones.
I'm wearing them.
I'm wearing them.
Do you guys hear the echo?
It's like a buzz.
And an echo.
I don't hear the echo, but I hear the buzz.
Okay, I guess we'll worry about it. Keep telling your story, Mike.
I was just going to say, the big lie in Scientology that is being perpetrated, and I was reminded of this reading the David Miscavige website in celebration of his birthday, is that he was anointed by L. Ron Hubbard. And the real story of what happened and how that came about, I cover in my book, but then I pulled out Marty Rathbun's book. And it's really interesting. I'm going to do a whole discussion about that subject, about how David Miscavige was not only not anointed by L. Ron Hubbard, Hubbard was pissed at him. He did not get the all clear that he was supposed to get that would allow Hubbard to come out of hiding. He was in no way ever going to be the guy that Hubbard turned over to, ever.
Wow.
Scientology believed today that, he was absolutely Hubbard's best friend, appointed by him, etc., etc.
I wanted to say one thing about the stats, this 5.4x stats, which was Hamburg. And because Hamburg was always the biggest, most expanding organization on the planet, they won all kinds of awards. Their executive director, which was Vibke Hansen, kept coming to Flag to get the birthday game awards and everything. And she was just celebrated as the biggest expansion queen of the universe. It turned out that all her stats were completely false, totally made up. And she was sent to the Rehabilitation Project Force at Happy Valley. She was made to join the Sea Org to go on to the RPF because of her false stats. And then a command team was sent, which was Marc Yeager. He was COCMO at the time, or the commanding officer. So he was sent. Miscavige said, "You're going to go make those stats real." So he sent, I think it was Kurt Whelan went with him, and
Fred Harris.
And
Marc
Fred
Yeager.
Harris is the PR person. And
wasn't Mark Ingber there as well?
No, but I think he took over for Marc Yeager.
Oh, that's right.
And some finance person, I don't remember who. Nigel,
Tom
maybe?
Woodruff.
Tom Woodruff. That's right, Tom Woodruff. And so that team went all from INT to go and make those stats real, all into Germany. Anyway, and David Miscavige laughed because Marc Yeager is Jewish and he's sending him into Germany. That was like his big ha ha ha. This is going to be so funny.
Oh my God.
Anyway, yeah. So there you go for the false statistics.
As long as we're going to go down that path, when we were having financial planning at the INT base.
Yeah.
Don't get us demonetized, Mark.
I won't get you demonetized. Just listen. David Miscavige was trying to get somebody to come up to INT and so that she would get some money from the INT FP. And he told this gal, he said, if you want to get her up here, just make some marmalade toast and she'll come up. Anybody
that was the freaking joke?
No, it's not a joke. It's a very, very, anybody who's Jewish will get that. And they
I thought that was an Australian joke or something.
I thought it was Australian
too. Marmalade, not Vegemite.
Oh, what's marmalade? Is that a Paddington Bear thing?
No, it's like a jam that you put on toast, and it's
made out of orange peel.
It went over our heads, Mark.
Is that a Jewish thing?
Aaron,
I thought that was a British Paddington Bear thing. He loved his marmalade.
No, Aaron. That's what they gave them before they brought them into
Oh no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh my my God.
Oh yeah,
So
it had to be something
that's
that
David
gross.
Miscavige on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got the dark arts going over there, David Miscavige.
Yep.
wait, hold on. Please tell me Paddington Bear did not love marmalade, okay?
I think
what?
Paddington Bear liked honey, you maniac.
No, that's
Winnie
the
Pooh Bear.
Oh, I don't even know. I don't know who this
Winnie the
Paddington
Pooh.
character is.
Yeah, you were in the Sea Org when you should have been watching Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, he's cold-hearted, this guy.
Yeah, that's serious.
That was probably the longest answer to a question. I don't remember what the question was.
I don't know.
There was no
was.
question
Hey,
pending.
Did you still want to know what PTS type D is?
No,
Yes,
let's go on to the next
yes,
question.
go,
We have
PTSD.
77 questions.
You got somewhere
okay.
to be?
Okay.
What's
can-
PTS type D? I want to know.
Okay. So I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it here. So it says responsible for condition cases. Okay. So it says they've been traced back to other causes for their condition too often to be acceptable. And then it goes on and on about somebody else being responsible for their condition.
That's what Apostate Alex was kicked out for, being PTSD. PTS type D.
Really?
No, seriously. Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
that's
Well, he
crazy.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's see. We got some. Let's just go through this stuff here, guys. Kat and Maggie says, just some money for your trip to Kohl's, the other French dip place. I had no idea it would become such a thing. Mark, you have your crackers. I have my French dip sandwiches.
Yeah. So what are your people now? French dippers?
Yeah, I guess.
You know, I have to tell you this. Somebody
French
sent
dippers.
me a giant box of like a variety pack of crackers. It just showed up in the mail.
Amazing.
What's the
also,
deal with the French dip, Aaron?
Well, everyone was asking me, hey, you got to go to Felipe's and get a French dip sandwich. And I said, I don't know. I said, it's Felipe's. I said, I got no idea what a French dip sandwich is. And everyone's been sending me super chats to go get a French dip sandwich.
Did you ask him at Philippe's how to pronounce it?
He didn't go there yet.
I know someone who knows one of the owners, and they say, look. The owners don't say Philippe's, even though that's the correct pronunciation. Philippe's is the correct pronunciation, but it's not how they say it. They say
and Aaron
Felipe's.
did go. I have photo evidence.
Oh, you did?
I went last night. It was delicious.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a bit of a weird place. It's not like
it is a bit of a weird place. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, is there a line?
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, so you've been there, Mike?
Oh yeah. I mean, anybody that's ever spent time in LA has been there.
You got to go.
Okay.
It's like going there on Cantors, and there's a few places you got to go in LA.
Yeah. Kohl's, we shot the film TR1. We shot that at Kohl's.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Kohl's is the other one I told you about, Aaron.
And that's only like 3 blocks away. So I'll go there tomorrow.
Yeah. We shot a Scientology film there.
Yeah.
The pantry.
All right. Rachel Harmon says, Mike t-shirts, front, blah, 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 back, etc., etc. Okay. R.R. Smith says, if Skippy is Methodist, then his congregation will be asking why he would wear a priest habit. Really? So it's all a show. The guy's just putting on a show.
Yeah. The guy's a complete fraud.
Also, there's a bunch of other comments about exactly which group he's part of and who to talk to. There's a lot of people in here who are lighting him up in here.
Aaron, he has been around for 25 years. Like he was around. He was one of those names that came up back when I was in OSA. He was one of Heber's buddies that, Skip LaRoe, will get him to go to the United Nations. Skip LaRoe, will get him to do blah. Skip LaRoe, we're getting him to write a letter. I mean, he was like,
makes me sick.
So when Skip says to the judge, I've got no affiliation with Scientology, it's just a blatant lie, right? Just
oh my gosh. I hope
complete.
I hope the judge finds out that he's a liar.
He's like
at this point, I don't know that she would care because he's just there watching. He's not there to do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Amy, your volume got like 10 times louder. Did anyone else notice that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You you have that little thing, the little touchpad. There you go. Just keep talking.
All right, we got another funny one here. Kakatogi Road. Mike and Amy, I have a fever, and the only cure is more crazy Bill Robertson stories. Don't leave me hanging in a bad way.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not sure if I can think of one off the top of my head.
Oh, I think what they're saying in your live streams. What do you have? Thursdays with Amy? When do you do your Amy videos?
Yeah. That's Thursdays with Amy.
Yeah.
Thursdays
Amy and
with
Mike on
Amy.
Thursdays.
Yes.
Nice.
7 p.m. Eastern.
That's so cool. I love it. I love it.
We're filling up the SPTV programming here.
By the way, have you guys seen Nora Ames has been rocking and rolling? She's been putting up content every day. Have you guys noticed?
Yeah, and so is Kelly Copter. Kelly Copter is
It's really
blitzing
fantastic.
it, man.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Oh, you know what? There's two other Vanessa LaRose and her friend. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. They started a channel too. I think it's called Degraded Daughters.
Right? Oh my
that
goodness.
is not an adult themed channel. Okay.
They gotta work on that name though. I don't know.
Hold on. I swear to God, I got it right. Hold on. I'm looking it up right now. There we go. Oh, Alyssa Hoy is the other Alyssa of Degraded Daughters. Yeah, Degraded Daughters.
Okay. Yikes.
Anyway, I think Vanessa lives out here in LA. Anyhow, I'm just mentioning it because they've been putting up stuff, but I haven't seen it promoted anywhere. So, all right, let's see. Johanna Knott. It's not Joanna, it's Johanna, right?
Johanna
Knott. Mark, the blue in the background is music for the masses. Sky blue, love it. I don't know what that means.
It's a Depeche Mode album, and it sure is. Thank you, Johanna. I knew that when I did it. Thank you. Nice.
Jacob Harkey, where were each of you on the bridge at the time that you joined the Sea Org? Nowhere. I just done the Pure. Mike? Michael?
I'd had some quickie grades.
Okay.
I had attested to natural clear as a 15-year-old.
Not even last life clear, but natural clear.
Natural clear.
That's an all-time, life clear.
Because they told me that my tone arm was always floating.
Oh my God.
Oh, the more important question is, where was I on the bridge when I left? Also nowhere. 15 years and I got nowhere.
Totally.
Good job, Marc.
Yeah. Well,
the
only way I did up to OT7 is because I went to the rehabilitation project force and had to do my OT levels on it.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to write the ultimate SP Scientology to English language dictionary for the merch shop? I'd buy it.
Oh, yikes.
Not me.
Not me.
Not it. Not it.
Do you know who's been doing something like that?
I do, but you tell me.
Leah herself.
Oh, I was going to say Claire's been doing the same thing.
She showed me what she's got. I don't know how you're ever going to complete this, but she's been putting in a lot of time on it.
Her and Claire should make that a project.
There you go. Okay, so Brian Willett says, has to be something Scientology does for good. Ideas?
Not burning down or not chopping down forests to make the promo that they send out that people just throw away.
I mean, the only good thing that comes to mind is they're like, drugs are bad. Okay. Drugs
They do rehab a lot of old properties, like maybe properties that are old. They kind of fix them up and renovate them, and then they just leave them empty so they don't get torn down.
The problem is that all the good stuff they do, it comes is being done for self-serving reasons. So you have to really focus in on just the thing and not the reason for the thing in order to call it something good.
Yeah.
So, all right, this one's clearly on Amy's channel. Super chat, because Amy has a super name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi, Amy.
Okay, let's see. What is this? Jerry Hack. Hello, all. Starting a podcast in September. Chris Shelton has agreed to appear to talk about his book, Scientology A to Z New. Will Scientology attack me? Open invitation to Mike, Mark, and Amy to talk about your books too. What do you think about Scientology attacking non-Scientologists that start doing Scientology content?
I don't think they have the bandwidth to pull that off these days.
They don't. They can't even watch all our videos.
Literally,
guys.
I mean, we've sort of drawn all fire and all resources, and I think everybody else has got a pretty much a free pass. Honestly, I just don't think that they have the ability to be able to track and deal with all of these other people that are around now.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, they've been attacking us for I mean, going on over a decade, for almost 17 years now for me. And it's resulted in a whole lot of nothing, guys. I hate to break it to you. So I'm not even sure. Even if they would attack you, it just makes for more content. So it's kind of like, if they do, great. If they don't, great. Who cares? They're so insignificant in terms of what they're doing, like to get us to stop. Obviously, it hasn't worked. I'm still doing it 17 years later. So
I wonder how much tax-exempt money they've used in order to attack us.
It's in the millions.
Just the 4 people in this little chat here.
It's in the millions.
Yeah.
I guarantee.
I'm dying to know how Amy's volume keeps jumping up like that.
Let's see. Talk, Amy.
Okay, I'm talking right now, except
She's
for my
fine.
dog is chewing in the background.
No, you're fine.
No, it
She's
sounds
good.
fine right now.
Yeah.
Scientology has created the first perpetual, honest to God, perpetual motion machine, where they cannot help but still do stupid things to us. And then I'm just going to keep doing videos about it, which is just going to piss them off more. And then they're going to keep doing stupid things. I'm going to keep doing videos about it. And the world finds it endlessly entertaining. So, it's the one rule of physics. You can't have perpetual motion except for Scientology.
Well, I thought of this the other day, Aaron, and I was going to say it, or I couldn't decide, but Scientology spends so much money advertising on the internet that they are creating a vacuum for our videos, because they're asking people if they're curious, but they're not giving them any information. And so they're coming here and they're getting all their information, and Scientology is even funding these videos. So they're really to blame at the end of the day for all this nonsense.
Well, I don't know what someone's head is exploding that Amy has called her channel Who is Amy Scobie? Because Scientology spends a lot of money promoting their hate site called Who is Amy Scobie?
Yeah.
And now Amy Scobie's channel is probably competing with the top search results for that, I'm guessing.
Yes.
And I really don't care. They don't own my name, and it really pisses me off. They've got 12 stupid websites that all direct to Who is Amy Scobie. And, it's just, they've had them for 15 years or something stupid like that now. And so I just decided, they don't own my name, and I can have something in Who is Amy Scobie. And if it sends it to their website, people will see how stupid Scientology is.
There you go.
Yeah. Awesome. Lathanda Grauklinger. Thanks to Amy for giving us our Monday night SPTV fix yesterday. Great to see you all today. I see that Mike's Xenu shelf is getting more and more populated. I've never noticed your green stuffed Xenu. Where did that come from?
Jack won that at the Palm Harbor at the Palm Harbor Fair the other night. I said, "Oh, I need that."
He's taking his kids' toys now.
I did. I told him to get the green one. They had purple and blue. I like the green. I think green is a good color for the Xenu doll. So
yeah,
I got it, and he gladly donated it to the cause.
That's awesome.
So it's a garden variety alien. I love it.
Yeah, it's just a little stuffy, puffy toy that cost like $7 for the game. That's worth like 50 cents.
Yeah.
So I did my first live, you guys, last night.
I saw that. Your solo.
Yeah, my solo, figuring it out, because it was the first time I ever did it. So anyway, so now I'm with the big guys.
Nice.
As Dan
That's
Sherman
awesome.
would have said, you're now running with the big dogs in the tall grass.
A veritable heretofore for
Therefore, and
expansion.
notwithstanding,
Moreover.
So Tommy Davis must have stole that from Dan Sherman, because I could have sworn I heard Tommy Davis say something similar.
yeah,
Like
he did.
He couldn't run with the big dogs, so he had to leave the Sea Org. That's why Rinder left.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the best thing about his little rant. He's like, Sea Org members are harder, faster, stronger, da-da-da-da-da-da, and they couldn't cut it. And then he like, fast forward, hey, Tommy, where you at? You ain't there
Tommy
no more,
left-
are you?
Tommy left the Sea Org, and then he left his wife and kids.
Oh yeah, no, he got up and GTFO'd the whole scene.
Yeah.
And I don't mean left his wife because the wife was in the Sea Org. He left the Sea Org. He created a life with his wife, had kids, and then he left all of them.
Yeah, and then he traded it up for a younger, newer model.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, moving on. Percy Kersey, one of my favorite names, by the way. 4 of the bravest, most valuable people I've ever known of. You all have been a hand holding the door to my healing. Oh, I see. Thank you all. Also, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
There you go.
I think this guy's from Australia.
Yes, definitely.
I would guess that. And I think it's a girl based on the picture.
How do you
What's the
see
picture
that,
of?
Mike?
Oh, it is a picture. It's a tracing of a girl. I see.
Oh yeah,
all right.
Smoking a cigarette.
Very nice. Amber Glass is wondering, what color is Tone 40?
This color.
Yeah.
Oh boy, look at Mike. He was quick. I was gonna do it, but he was too quick on the draw, baby.
I've got Tone 40 blue.
Nice. Marilyn says the Sea Org experience seems to have sucked, but did you at least get to learn some real stuff like how to do cool nautical knots or something? It's not that kind of Sea Org anymore.
No. Although we did
have to do some nautical knots.
Yeah, on the EPF you're supposed to do some of that stuff, but they don't put a lot of attention on it.
Oh, you know what the best thing that I learned from the Sea Org? Everything outside the Sea Org is so much better than anything that happens inside the Sea Org.
That's true.
You can survive anything in the outside world because I remember the first time when I was working outside of the Sea Org and someone said, "Oh my God, can you believe what the manager just said? Oh my God." And I'm like, he said the word shit. Like that's like a big deal. Oh, he cursed that guy out. I'm like, really? Nothing. You are prepared for everything when you leave the Sea Org. That is one thing. And you have persistence and toughness that it just doesn't come from anywhere else, I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm still like, it's so funny, because you're not required to.
Mike. Is it just me, guys?
No, she's blowing it out.
What happened?
When you talk louder, it's really loud.
Yeah.
Here, just push. Oh, you can't push yours away. It's okay. It's okay.
I can
Amy.
step away from it.
No, just
how's that?
Go into the other room, Amy.
Yeah, go where.
maybe it was because I went from mute to on.
Oh,
the chat agrees that you're very loud. So no, maybe just push the mic away a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay. So
there you go. There you go.
Never mind.
Oh. No, I wouldn't go. No. It sounded great.
Well, I was gonna say I still have a tendency to, if I get a service that I have to write or something, to stay up until I finish.
Oh, you pull an all-nighter?
Oh yeah, not all-nighter, but it's like I still have that tendency. And it's funny how the expectancy of companies or people or whatever is just get to it whenever you get to it.
Yeah.
And I'm not used to that.
When I had my first job at a company, and the guy said, really hate to have to ask you this, but we got a deadline. We got to get it done. It's got to get turned over to get the mix done so it can air. Could you stay till 8 o'clock tonight to get this done? It's like it was the buildup was so much. And I was like, yeah, I could stay till 8. It's like, really? You sure? I'm like, yeah, I could stay 3 hours late. No problem.
Guys, we forgot to give something away.
We didn't forget. We just delayed it.
We weren't gonna do everything at the end, right? We were gonna do a little.
Let's give Amy's book now.
Yeah. You ready, Amy?
Let's give him the instruction and everything.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count down from 5. So everyone needs to be jumping on that.
Yeah, you got to give them a chance. Some people are watching on TV. 27% of my viewers watch on TVs. I don't know how many watch on your channel, Aaron, but so they got to get to a place where they can get ready to type. And then once people get mobilized, so you can get into the chat. And then now, Amy, they're there. Yeah. You can see the chat is just blazing up. Now you can do your countdown.
Do you know oh yeah, it is happening here. Okay, so
me, book, me.
okay, so Mike, I'm gonna count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm clicking.
Book me.
AM Creek 3. Book
So
me.
AM Creek 3, if you just go ahead and send me an email at scobypublishing@gmail.com, I will send you a book. Congratulations.
There you go.
So let's spell Scoby for everybody. SCOBEE, right?
Yes. Yeah. And then publishing. scobypublishing@gmail.com.
Nice.
There you go.
Good job, Amy.
Good job.
Hey.
Very clean.
Hey.
I think the
Good.
problem is that Amy's voice is so clear, and also it's a little bit more high pitch, and we have all this mid-range and low end. So
This
I
is
think her voice just cuts through more. But
Jackson just bought me this. It's a brand new microphone.
Yeah, it's
and
awesome.
I'm not used to where it needs to be yet.
Yeah, it's perfect. Wherever you had it is perfect. It's just
Okay.
when you go in, that's when
Yeah.
it gets a little.
And you get
Okay.
excited.
Yeah.
When those two events happen at the same time, it's catastrophic.
It's all good.
Okay. I'm sorry for your ears, Aaron. I saw you react. Ah!
It's
That's
okay.
okay.
Amy, we did a live, one of the first lives that I joined in on with
Yeah.
Mike and Aaron. I had 2 windows open at the same time and they were feeding back, and I blew out everyone's ears. Everyone that was watching, Aaron, Mike, everybody got blown out.
Oh man.
And yeah, so being a little loud is not the biggest deal in the world.
Okay. Well, hopefully it's rectified now.
Yes.
All right. Moving on here. Oh wait, when are we gonna do the next giveaway, guys?
Let's do it
At the end.
Let's do
like
it.
like do it in one. Well, let's end it at an hour, like at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Can we do that?
In 53 minutes, yes.
Yeah. And we'll
Yeah.
do it right at the end.
Okay,
Awesome.
good. Sounds good. Highly agree with the idea of Claire not discussing specifics. Honestly, depending on how things go in future cases, perhaps Claire could have an opportunity to be called in other cases as an expert if she would be interested. Yes, that is true. I imagine. Gary Jackson Morehead says, me thinks it's pie face until a verdict is delivered.
Yes.
Good.
Exactly.
Watching.
Yeah.
Lots
Shay
of practice.
Anderson. Amy's maiden solo voyage last night was terrific. SPTV, you're in, kid.
Yay. It was
Oh.
an ask me anything. It was fun questions.
Nice.
Nice. Helen Girl says, I'm coming to the trial tomorrow. Is court open all day? Yeah, so court will start at 9:30. Lunch is from 12 to 1:30. And then you only have a 2.5 hour session. Court ends at 4 p.m. And there's like a 20-minute break somewhere in there whenever the judge feels is a good time. So it's really like a full day at court is a piece of cake, honestly. I mean, it's like 6 hours. I haven't done the math, but it's not even it's not an 8-hour day. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
But
Not
it's
even
also a
close.
piece of cake
It's
if you're
like
sitting in
5.5
a bench.
hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a piece of cake if you're sitting in a bench in the back of the courtroom. If you're one of the lawyers or the Jane Does or any of those people, it might be a little bit more exhausting.
Yeah, I don't know. The lawyers get to stand up and walk around and do all their little whatevers. Okay, let's see. Brandy, I'm wondering if you would consider making a more dainty, more feminine SP bracelet available for us small humans. Could you also give a shout out to my mom, Holly, please? She's a big fan too. Thank you.
Hey, Holly.
Hi, Holly.
Okay, the answer to the bracelet there, Brandy, is that we already have a lot of different bracelets because we have to buy them and keep stocks of them in all these different sizes. And I think if we did the female ones, that might be a lot more trouble. And already Claire is kind of getting a little overloaded as it is. So I'm not trying to make more work for her, but we'll see. We'll look into it. I might even just get some small ones, just small female ones, but just like 2 or 3 sizes. If you got a really tiny little wrist, then I can't imagine that you'd need a size 10. So we'll figure it out.
Nice. All right, let's see. Is this Lisa? Aaron Hubba Hubba, so addicted to your trial coverage. Thanks to you all. Please take Claire to In-N-Out Burger on me. You won't be disappointed. I'm in for the Mike Rinder signed book, please. Okay, good. Well, we got that giveaway coming. And yeah, so I think I'm allowed to hang out with Claire during breaks, I think. Like if Claire testifies tomorrow and there's a break time, I think I'm allowed to hang out with her. I was allowed to hang out with the Jane Does. I'm allowed, you know what I'm saying? So, and she's not even you know what I'm saying? She's like, anyway. So anyway, I guess what I'm saying is I'm pretty sure, let's say she wraps up her testimony.
Claire is going to know the answer to that tomorrow because the lawyers are going, or the prosecutors are going to tell her, here is how you need to act when you're here. This is what's appropriate. This is what's not appropriate, because they know that she hasn't been an expert witness before. And being an expert witness has certain things that go along with it, and they will explain that to her. And so she'll take the lead on that, I'm sure, Aaron. If she says it's okay for you to hang out with her, I'm sure it'll be okay to hang out.
Totally. And let's say she finishes her testimony tomorrow. I guess that's where I was going with this is we'll definitely be going to hit the in and out. Just because she can't get on YouTube and talk about all her stuff doesn't mean we can't go grab some food afterwards. So, okay, John Sostowski lets us all know, Mark, I sent you the box of assorted crackers. You can pick your favorite to lick. There's even Scooby Dooby dog bone crackers. I also sent a Pokey bendable figure. A
bendable figure.
A Pokey for you. And is Pokey Gumby's horse?
Yeah.
Pokey's Gumby's horse, right?
Yeah.
So a Pokey bendable figure for you and a Gumby toy for the pets. That sounds, how come we haven't seen photos of this thing yet?
Because I just saw it. I was trying to figure out what it was. I was like, what is this? Why is this here? And then I was like, oh, it's a package of crackers. I was like, oh my goodness, I think somebody sent me crackers.
That's amazing. All right, DB says, Mike, have you ever played Santa Claus for your grandkids or other family? Grow that beard out a few more inches and you look just like him.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I didn't have any grandkids.
Did he say grandkids? Oh, he did say grandkids. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
You don't even almost have grandkids.
Right.
If Mike had grandkids, we'd be in big trouble.
Chris OC, hi SBTV crew. Curious if any of you guys are following the Lori Vallow Daybell trial and all that craziness. I found a lot of parallels with Scientology as far as the cult indoctrination techniques that Chad Daybell was using. Have you guys been following any of this?
I don't even know.
Never
what this
heard
is.
of this.
So people have been sending me some links, but I have not had the time to watch any. It's a trial that's currently going on right now.
Right.
Cult related. So. All right, Denver Stevo says, hey, Aaron, you inspired me to have a French dip for dinner tonight. It's not Felipe's or Philippe's, but also, do you have Leah and Angelo doing your laundry again this weekend? No, Angelo, that's a good one. I actually plan on going home this weekend, and then I will be coming back.
You're not going to leave your laundry with Leah?
No.
You guys, were you on there, Mike, or was it?
No.
So we were on the chat. Aaron and I was on the chat, and Leah comes in while he's, excuse me, while he's recording the video, and she's like, "Smell this," and she hands him a shirt, and she had just done his laundry, and then everyone's like, "Leah, get on, come on the camera." She's like, "No, I'm not coming on," but then she pops in and says, "Your breakfast is ready, Aaron."
Scrambled eggs.
Yeah, I was like, "You have got to be kidding me right now."
Okay. She said that Angela was teasing her, and then he's like, no, go in, bring him the food on camera. Keep bringing him food items. And she's like, I didn't want to interrupt the stream. He's like, it would have been so funny. Speaking of Leah coming on camera, she said she would come on if we asked her, but guess what happened yesterday? Because in court she was in full makeup and everything, so I'm like, this is perfect.
Yeah,
this is perfect. I said, Leah, let's do a stream 3 minutes downstairs next to the car about Reverend. And she goes, baby, this is real world makeup. It's not the same as video makeup. And I was like, we're never gonna get you on a stream.
She's like, baby, this is film makeup. This is not real world makeup or YouTube makeup. This is film makeup.
But I do have to say something here, Aaron. Having stayed at Leah's house for many, many months on end at some time, she is the most gracious host and treats you like, Marc knows this. He's stayed there too.
Yeah.
It is like you're a king. Like when I stayed in the guest room, I'd walk into the guest room and all the photo frames had pictures of Christy and the boys in them.
Oh my goodness.
She thinks of everything.
Also,
like, the stuff that was set up in the bathroom was the things that I use, like my toiletries, and like it's beyond the beyond.
Yeah. No, it was great.
Have you been in that pantry?
Yes.
Times.
So
is that pantry insane or what?
Well, because I commented on the jars of custom stacked cookies, and she goes, "Oh, you should see the pantry." And of course, right at eye level is my favorite is the peanut M&Ms. So I had the peanut M&Ms, and I brought that out to the kitchen to go with the vanilla, Oreos. And then she cooked up some lasagna. And so I had my peanut M&Ms, and she brought me the lasagna. And then Shannon told on me halfway through, and she's like, "Aaron is eating the peanut M&Ms with the lasagna." And she came over with her phone, and she's like, "Show everybody what you're doing." So funny. No, it was amazing. And it was, I didn't realize how wound up I actually was until I went over there and chilled out for 24 hours. I was, it was pretty great. What the hell were we talking about, guys?
I don't know, but
question. Just pull up the next question. Hey, Ron, you don't have to think about anything.
All right. Noel Goldberg. Sorry if this was already asked. I just got here. Do you think Cohen and Holly are frustrated with Scientology and all the problems they've caused with this case? Vicky Podboreski, Skip, altered email. What are your thoughts on this, Mike?
Yeah, probably. I mean, they probably would prefer to be able to completely distance themselves from anything to do with Scientology, and they can't. And I imagine that that's pretty frustrating to them.
Yeah, it's true. And they succeeded in the first trial of pretty much keeping it out. And now they can't get rid of it.
I know. And they've got this nutty stuff like Podboreski showing up, and now that becomes a whole subject of itself. I mean, if they had just gone, okay, we'll ask her not to be here, it would have been over and done with. But instead, it turns into the next big discussion about, is Scientology intimidating witnesses on the stand? I mean,
right. Because Mike, is it a true statement? Is it fair to say Vicky Podboreski would not be showing up if she wasn't being ordered to?
Absolutely. She's not there. She's not wasting her lawyer billable hours sitting in someone else's case that she's not representing. She's getting paid to be there. Right. I guarantee it.
That's a story.
Well, the other thing is, Aaron, this is all being ordered by Dave Miscavige directly. None of these people can do any of these things without him saying, do these things. And he knows that he is the smartest person in the world, and that this is all going to end up the way he wants. And he is telling him, this is what you have to do, period. Nobody can say no to him.
Yeah. And, Skip LaRue is like the guys in the dog collars that were persuaded to go to Portland and sit in the Julie Christopherson trial. It's like, this is all, we've seen these silly stories many times before.
Yeah. Crazy. Check this out. The Proco Group. I'm obsessed with all your stories and love you all, Mike. I had the pleasure of meeting you and Leah in the Winners Media Room at the Emmys. Keep up the good work. Loving the trial coverage. How about that?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw a comment. I don't think I read it at the time, but it said it was a comment to Leah. So it's when I was streaming from her house that said, I was the nurse in the room at the hospital when J-Lo was giving birth. Did J-Lo have twins? Does J-Lo have twins?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
She
does.
said, I was the nurse in the hospital, met you when J-Lo was having twins. I was like, damn, don't give away your identity, right? But pretty cool. Pretty cool. So like the Proco Group, this could be this. Does this mean this person could have been working at the venue, or could have been working for the academy? We don't know, right?
Or they could have been, that could just be a pseudonym. They could have been one of the winners.
Could have been
that could have been
Kenan Thompson.
Kenan.
And what was the other gal? Kristen Schaub.
Yeah.
Schall? Yeah.
Shall.
Yeah. That was the funniest conversation ever.
That was a great conversation.
Keenan says, "Oh, hey, Mike. Good to see you." And then he goes to Kristen, "This is my Scientology friends." And then she goes like, "What?" And he goes, "Ex-Scientology friends."
Interesting. Okay. Not just Aro. What do you guys think? Not just a row. First ever super chat. Nice. The Reverend Skip LaRue. Now, Reverend is the wrong word, right? You can't, right? Like this is a Christian thing.
We'll just read the whole thing.
Reverend Skip LaRue is under the jurisdiction of UMC. That's the United Methodist Church. Not supposed to do that. UMC records online under, UMC records online under N.J. LaRue shows lies. Complaints can be sent to UMC Bishop of L.I. Yeah, I don't care about getting Skip in trouble. I mean, he's been working for Scientology for 20 years. Whatever.
It's a good gig.
Yeah. You know,
those guys don't get paid much.
Yeah. Okay. This question comes up every now and then. Rebecca Dunbar. Has David Miscavige created personal wealth from Scientology? If the Scientology capitulated tomorrow, would David Miscavige have millions in the bank, or would it be flipping burgers at Macca's? Much love from Australia. Is Macca's an Australia thing?
It's McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Oh, Macca's. But that's an Australian way of saying it, right?
It is. That is a very journos, everything ends with a S.
Doggo.
Yeah. Anyway, he has more money personally than most Sea Org members, but he doesn't need any money. He has billions of dollars at the snap of his fingers, and he's smart enough to know that he shouldn't accumulate a bunch of personal money because that's what the IRS would love to go after. So, I don't think, like, he was getting paid $100,000 a year or so when most Sea Org members were getting $2,500 a year if they got that. And so he's accumulated money, but it's not like tens of millions of dollars.
So I have to ask, Mike, I cannot wrap my head around what any Sea Org member on the int base could have thought about him paying himself a salary like that when the whole idea of being in the Sea Org is you don't need money. What was the deal?
We didn't know. We actually didn't know.
Most people didn't even know that.
No, I had no idea.
Knowledge.
I figured it.
The only reason I know any of that is because Claire was in RTC and she was over Treasury. And so she would say he even would, when he would get bonuses, he would make sure that other people in his group would get bonuses. They wouldn't be as big as his, but just so it wasn't, the optics of it weren't so bad. People would also get bonuses in RTC, but just not as much as he was getting.
And at the time when that figure came out, it had to be reported to the IRS as part of the negotiations. So the amounts that were being paid to each person, the senior executives in Scientology, were provided to the IRS. So suddenly the executives in CMO International and the Watchdog Committee and stuff got paid a shitload of bonuses.
Interesting. Okay, so here's one. Has there ever been a mission or an org in North or South Dakota? Well,
nope.
No. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
It's hard to say with missions because anybody could open up a stupid mission and call it just say it exists, but it doesn't really. The answer is still no, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe instead of old dilapidated buildings and spending millions slapping lipstick on a pig, they should buy all the Rays season tickets in third level of the Trop.
That's wonderful.
What would they do with them?
Give them away. Give them to people.
Yeah. Okay. Jacqueline R17. I was hoping to get a happy birthday yesterday. I turned 30. I've been thinking of volunteering with the Aftermath. Has Scientology given any of the volunteers any problems? Well, happy birthday, Jacqueline.
Happy birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Yes. And no, I don't think we've ever heard of Scientology giving any of our volunteers problems. I mean, Scientology doesn't know who our volunteers are.
Right.
Right.
You know? Okay, Mike, what do you think about this? Brett Grace, do we think David Miscavige watches SPTV himself, or does he just count on getting highlights from OSA? The level of narcissism makes me think he hate watches.
I'm sure he's watching.
I
That's
wouldn't
my
doubt it.
opinion. I really wouldn't doubt. Look
think
who's sitting in this group.
I think that if he watches, he does it very in private, meaning maybe only Lou knows that he catches a glimpse.
That's
Otherwise,
otherwise,
he's expected to get reports from OSA whoever it is, Gavino or Ray or KO or whoever you are that is watching this and having to write up a report about what is contained in this. It's really cool out here.
Yeah.
Let me see. There was one. Rose K. Marc licks crackers because he is so salty.
Somebody also asked if the crackers that were sent to me were they pre-licked or did they have salt on them?
Okay, Lethanda Grauklinger. I'm from Hamburg. The org always was shitty, never booming. Census from 2019 counts 300 Scientologists in Hamburg. That's a dying organization there.
Yes.
If there's 300 Scientologists, I mean, that's kind of a lot. That's more than I would have guessed. I'm amazed 300 shows up on a survey, unless they extrapolate out the numbers. You know what I mean? They must do that, right? There's no idea. There's some science to census numbers, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, but it's 300 people said I identify as a Scientologist.
No, there's some percentage of people that said I identify, and they extrapolated out to the whole population.
It depends, Aaron. Like in some places, census is mandatory. Everybody has to fill it out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's what that is, or whether it's one that's done by they take samplings and then extrapolate. But
yeah,
whatever.
But 300 after so many years was nothing.
Yeah. And in most censuses,
but it's also bigger than most places.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And in most places, whenever they do one of those censuses, the number of people that identify as Jedis is usually more than Scientologists.
Yeah.
So,
Or Satanists.
Yes.
Or Satanists. That's true.
Way more.
We're only about 250 viewers away from breaking our record of 40.
Let's break a record. Let's break a record.
Yeah.
That would be so awesome.
I'm not sure I understand this one, but let's break it down, guys. Tess Forbes. Aaron, your audience is international, so please not French dippers.
Yeah,
the
so
sandwiches,
if you're fans.
Definitely American.
Oh, your fan base names.
Maybe just dippers. Just dippers. And then that way, if you chew or you eat French dip, you could be a dipper.
I got it.
You know, people are calling my subscribers the Scobees.
That's nice. That's good. Scobees. They should call them
Queen
bees. Bees like bumblebees. Come on.
Yeah, the Scobees. Right. Exactly. Yeah. I love it.
Queen bee.
I really like that. Okay, E.G. Johnson. Wait. Mike has special light strips and shit. I remember when he couldn't find the microphone. I love how you all improve every week. Keep up the great work.
Yep.
That's
look at that.
Awesome.
You know, you guys you all have blue. Mine's green. So yours is tone 40, but mine's serenity of beingness.
Oh, really?
Oh,
boy.
Very top.
Okay, Brett Gray says, I love that SPTV has grown to even tell Marilyn's incredible story. Cults to crochet.
Go
Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't seen that one. I've just been so freaking
so
busy
good.
over here.
You got to watch it. It's so good.
I'll watch it on 2x speed. How about that?
You can do that.
Okay, what does this mean, guys? Bradley Tarnapol, R.I.P. Gordon Lightfoot.
He died today.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
I don't know who that is. Who is that?
Oh,
Sundown. He sings the song Sundown. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping around my back stairs. He's done a lot. He's like a folk singer.
Yeah.
He was big when I was growing up. You're not old enough, Aaron, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
just
all
a
right.
Spring chicken.
That's all right. Kendra Johnston, I had to leave Amy's channel to send this. Oh, I guess because you're not monetized yet or what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, they put you in Christian jail?
I'm in jail over there. YouTube jail.
It was trademark jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just to monitor, right? Because she had a bunch of content up there that was old stuff from just other shows.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, so has Scientology had an effect on how you raise your children? If so, how? Love you guys. You should get elves on the shelf for the SP shop. YouTube, give Amy monetization.
That's not a bad
Yes.
idea, though. If we
We're
could sell
gonna-
those for Christmas, little Xenu elves on the shelf. Or we could just make little Dave. Never mind. I'll make it a surprise.
Keebler elf on the shelf. Dave
Your
on the
mind
shelf.
is going.
We are going to
Dave in a cave. You
we are
got
going
elf
to
on the
sell
shelf. You got
so many Dave on a shelves.
Dave in a cave.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see. Oh, Brett Grace again. I just like to see my name in lights, as Aaron says. I know it's controversial, but I prefer Coles to Felipe's. I'm gonna keep saying Felipe's, guys. Okay, let's see. Mark Fisher, Pat Broker was there too as FBO. What, St. Hill?
Boston.
Oh,
Boston.
no,
Oh,
Boston.
Boston.
No way.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Wow. I just ordered your book, Amy. Now my SPTV book collection will be completed.
Perfect.
Hooray.
Show everybody again who might just be tuning in what do you have your book right there?
I do. This is Scientology Abuse at the Top. This is a brand new paperback version. It's never been produced in paperback. So it's got a current picture on there and a few little updates. And so it's going to be signed by myself and my handsome husband, Matt.
Nice.
Did
any other SPs help you in the creation of that book, Amy?
Oh yeah. Jeff Hawkins, a very big SP, helped me with it. I had the design, the idea for the design, but he designed this cover and made it. I wanted it like really volcano explosion colors.
Nice.
Because he did all the original Dianetic stuff. So he designed the covers, and TGI Graphics, which was Shelley and Jimmy Leo, who left the Int Base. They did the original hardback book production.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Okay, Kara Montgomery, how was the now disbanded organization The Process connected to or born from Scientology? I've never heard of this.
No clue.
Yeah, never heard of it.
All right. Okay, Frankie McNulty. How do all your spouses feel about the amount of time and energy spent on Scientology? I appreciate all of you. I've been watching Aaron for years and everyone else from the beginning.
All of our spouses were in Scientology too. So
Yeah.
Right.
They
In
all
fact, they were
know.
all in the Sea Org.
yeah,
Not just
They're
Scientology.
all in the Sea Org.
every single one of our spouses was in the Sea Org, and they know what happened. So I don't think they mind it. I mean, Claire's right now testifying as an expert witness in a Scientology case in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
My husband
I
doesn't
think-
mind. Full support. You'll see him on here too.
Yeah. I think Heather's take is probably better you than me.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Liz Turner. Oh, Mike, we want to hear all your Rathbun stories. The juice, not the fishing. What does that mean?
Well, the
Okay.
fishing, you know what that means, right?
Yeah.
I know the fishing, but what does it mean? The
Yeah.
juice.
Like
Oh.
the good
The-
stuff,
the
not about the
tea.
yeah.
The inner dirty
Oh.
Yeah.
stuff.
But that was the good stuff about the fishing is that you guys would talk about the tea while fishing.
Right. I know.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Okay, let's see. Scrolling down. What do we got here? Declare Dave loves suppressive Sherry. Starting my own SPTV like channel under the name Dianazine Dave. Starting with tearing apart GEP British Mark V. What's GEP?
Golden Era Productions British Mark
Oh,
V
I
and
got it.
Delta Mark V e-meters and comparing them. Mark 7 after those. Yeah, so
Wow.
the Mark V that used to be at St. Hill, those were just produced probably with Dawn Breeding and some other people. But then I want to say in the 90s, as a cheap alternative e-meter that you could use for training, Golden Era Productions also started producing an old Mark V. So we used wood boxes. We made it just like the old one, except for that's the thing that Bruce Plotz made into a solid state Mark V. So it didn't have it had a circuit board instead of all these, breadboards and, homegrown Sanford and Son type production that L. Ron Hubbard was doing.
Interesting. Okay, so James Clifford Frederick Welch says, you didn't read my last super chat. Have you gone to LA Cafe yet? Spring and 7th. So I'm not a big cafe guy. Like if I want coffee, I got coffee at the hotel. I'm not I have to go out of my way to go. The answer is no. I haven't been there. I didn't know I was supposed to. It's not on the agenda, but if I do, well, now I'll put it on the agenda because it's close. It's super close. Actually, I mean, it's really close. Okay, Gary Jackson Morehead says, you guys are going to have to explain this one to me. I found out Apple Box Boys money.
That's Dave.
That's Dave.
Because he has to stand on an Apple Box to be high.
He has to stand on an Apple Box, yeah.
So I found out Apple Box Boys money when I escorted Nori to and fro with briefcases of cash from Sumitomo Bank in LA. Nori told me all about his cash flow.
Nori,
that's a reference back to me saying the suitcases full of cash to buy a Bluebird motorhome. Nori worked in services or treasury or whatever you called it of RTC. And so Nori was the one who went to the bank, got the actual cash, brought it back to the base to give to Dave to take to meet up in his secret rendezvous with Pat Broker.
Wow. Incredible. Jennifer Strickland says, great live. Thank you. Well, thanks for joining us, Jennifer. Let me see. What is this? Randy Wilcox. Now all I can think about is someone reporting to David Miscavige, they're going to make little Elf on the Shelf dolls of you to sell for Christmas.
we sure are, Dave. We sure are.
And they're going to be little, so they'll be easier to hide.
Yeah, and
super small.
And I can't believe I didn't think of that earlier. Like, I think I'm even thinking
Christmas
of making.
Can't come soon enough.
Aaron, you gotta love it. I'm even thinking of making one of those little suction cups that sticks into his butt, so you can stick him on things, and it'll be like a little Dave plug. It'll literally be it'll be hot glued to his ass. So when you stick it to things, you can hide it and put it on the wall and put it over the fireplace. It's gonna be amazing. Just
So Osa, go and tell Dave it's gonna have a stick up the butt.
We're gonna make so many. If you want people not to have them, you'll have to buy them all out.
Exactly.
And then I'll just take out the next batch.
You know, Dave, you're the one that started all this. First of all, with the ventriloquist dolls, and then with the bobblehead.
Yeah.
You started a cottage industry.
Yeah. He totally started.
Yeah.
All right.
I remember the ventriloquist doll.
Exhibit A.
And the Duke of Chug.
Yeah. It's just like, seriously, Dave, what did you think was going to happen? Look at this.
Look at us, jokers and degraders.
Yeah. We've got people crocheting outfits for these things now.
Mike, this one's for you. Anon A. Was Earl Cooley a Scientologist?
In the end, yes, he was. He was audited through Clear. He considered himself and called himself a Scientologist, at least to the people in Scientology. I don't know whether he ever told the board of trustees of Boston University that he considered himself a Scientologist, or the members of the bar in Boston, but he certainly expressed that to any Scientologist that he met.
I didn't know that. Is he still alive?
No.
Can I put one up here quick, Aaron?
Yeah.
The Proco group says, I helped with the PR on the Emmy red carpet and ran the media room. Favorite moment of the Emmys was meeting you two. I once had to have a marketing meeting for a client about Scientology video. Failed.
Nice. How sweet. That's such a nice comment. Yeah. Thank you.
It must have been the second time you guys won the Emmy.
No,
because otherwise they would have seen all of us.
No, the second time we didn't. There was no ceremony. It was.
Oh, it was
virtual.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that room was pretty crowded, though. By the way, did you guys, Aaron? Did you guys come into
he said the red carpet.
Oh, the red carpet.
And the media room. Go, taking photos and all that.
Yeah, but it says and ran the media room. That's where we were afterwards.
There was also a winner's room.
Did you go in the winner's room, Aaron?
I don't know.
Oh, I just, that's where we met Keenan.
But
Yeah.
no, that was before.
Yeah, we met Keenan before. And
That was
Julianne
before.
Hough. Julianne Hough. Right? The little dancer girl is
Yeah,
Julianne
yeah.
Hough. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Another one for you, Mike.
That was the green room before. Mark.
No, because
Promise
we
you.
were taking pictures with
No,
the
that
Emmys.
was taking pictures afterwards.
You
Oh,
guys.
You're right. You're right.
Jesus
You're right. I remember
Lord.
now.
Any updates on your cough, Mike? Hope you get some answers soon.
Yes, I do have, but I'm not talking about it here.
Okay.
I have been to numerous doctors. I'm going to another one at 8 a.m. tomorrow. I'm supposed to go get a procedure, and that's all I'm going to say.
Awesome.
There
Good
you
luck,
go.
Mike.
Thank you.
Yes. Yep.
If I find any donors, I'll let you know.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm postulating a speedy recovery.
No.
I'm gonna
Um,
Look
flow
at we have
good intentions your way.
4,499. So how
Yeah,
many?
we're getting
What's
there.
the?
46 was our
Okay.
figure last time. We need
It's almost.
and yeah, there's nothing our current viewers can do to help us get more viewers.
Right.
They just got to
They,
come
they
organically.
Call
just
your
have to not
friends.
leave.
Make some
Yeah.
Call your-
strong postulates.
Make
Yes.
some,
Okay.
call your text your friends.
Yeah.
Tell
Make
Get
them
on
to
here now.
Make it go.
We have to
Right.
get
make it
highest
go
ever.
right.
Yeah.
No one
Okay.
secures.
So guys, I don't know what this next one means. Andy Fabulous. LRH was a KOA member and wanted to see America in his final years. Plus, wife was looking to serve divorce papers for alimony.
KOA is the campgrounds
of America.
that you see around the campgrounds of America.
Oh.
Those
It's with a
places where
K?
mobile homes
Campgrounds,
go.
I thought was a C.
No,
It's spelled with a K?
Yeah, it is.
Wait,
Oh,
let me
it's
okay.
see. I'm going to find out.
It's like a place where you can park your RV for the night, and they
Right,
have
I
like
get
a
it.
little canteen
And they're all over
showers
the
and-
United States.
Yeah.
And people literally say, I'm retiring, I'm buying a motorhome, and I'm going to go tour the United States. And they go from KOA campground to KOA campground because they know exactly what they're going to get in those places. They're all basically the same.
And I've been to the very first one, which is in Cody, Wyoming.
No kidding.
I've even stayed at it.
No kidding. That's a cool fact.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so what does this mean, guys? Hot glue that derriere.
That's
That's
for
what
the
Mark
elf
just
on
said.
the
He's going to
shelf.
put a
I'm literally gonna,
suction cup hot glued to the butt of the elf on the shelf.
yeah,
I
it's
got
gonna
it.
be epic.
That's awesome. Married 1982 says off topic, but how about rub on SPTV tattoos in the SP shop for those of us
Rub
who
on.
don't want something permanent? Love you all. Miss seeing Claire. Yeah, we actually spoke about doing.
Yep. I'm
the
writing that
fake
down.
tattoos.
I'm putting it right under the Dave on the shelf.
We have so many things for this merch, and we never get to do any of them.
Well,
I know.
we're working on it. Just my expert merch person also just happens to be an expert
LA.
witness.
Yeah, I know.
There you go. Mark rummaging the pantry for saltines.
Yeah.
Yeah. He goes to Leah's house. He's like, screw the peanut M&Ms. Just get me the saltines.
That's right.
Don't mean to sound dramatic from Lady Pamela, but you guys have literally saved my life. Y'all have helped me so much. Thank you. Can I stay at Leah's? Well,
Wow,
thank you.
lady.
Thank you,
Wow.
Lady Pamela.
Mhm.
Thank you very, very much. I don't know what this was calling back to, but it's not that Aaron isn't old enough. It's that he grew up in a cult.
Right.
Yeah.
He's
I don't
not
know
old
what
enough to know about Gumby or whatever it was.
Gordon
Oh.
Lightfoot. Gordon
Gordon
Lightfoot.
Lightfoot.
There it is.
Gumby,
There it
Gordon
is.
Lightfoot. Meh.
Yeah.
Both.
Prayers for
French dip
Claire.
sandwiches.
What? Prayers
Yes,
for Claire.
prayer-
She's my
prayers
Yes.
for
hero.
Claire.
Thank you, Slappy.
I don't know what this is a throwback to, but for AA runs cotton ball supplies, Amy, you speak as loud as you want. Oh, cotton balls for my ears.
Yeah.
And since my light just went out, I'll have you guys do this.
Oh
You
my
want me-
God, you went into the dark.
Hold on, here we
You've
go.
gone
Just
to the dark
go-
side, Aaron.
Go ahead and read that one.
Okay, good. Large truck here. Aaron and Mark have already answered. So just for Mike and Amy, any stories of when you bumped into Scientologists in everyday life?
Oh yeah, they run away. I literally went into a movie theater to watch a movie, and there were 4 Scientologists sitting in the front row of the movie theater. Me and Christy and the boys went in and sat down, and those 4 people got up and left the movie theater before the movie started so they wouldn't be contaminated by the SPs sitting 5 rows back from them.
That's awesome. I love that. What about you, Amy?
Matt drives, right? And so he drives Uber sometimes on his spare time just to keep himself busy. And sometimes he'll, unbeknownst to anybody, pick up Scientologists and then take them like to the sandcastle.
That's awesome.
Drive them right in there,
and they're captive.
And he's like talking to them about the property there, like he knows everything, and they're like, who is this guy? Anyway, I don't really run into Scientologists. I'm a little bit north, or something, but I don't really run into Scientologists myself. Everyone I run into knows about Scientology, recognizes me from the show and stuff like that. Like I'm doing a service, coming up, and the family, as soon as they saw me walk in, they're like, I thought it was you. Oh my God. So you kind of got to get past that, because now I'm going to be talking about their mom's funeral service, but you have to, it's kind of interesting in everyday life like that. But I don't really run into Scientologists.
There you go.
Awesome.
Roberta Alton, this is for Mark. Mark, I saw your emitter video. Great. And you mentioned the costs of them, very expensive. Why do Scientologists that work for free have to pay for the meters? Do the auditors get paid?
Yeah, I mentioned this, is that, and even this is even more the case recently, Scientology wants to sell e-meters. It doesn't matter. They don't care who to. And more recently, they have been getting money from Sea Org members for them to buy e-meters, and telling them that it's more of a chance that they'll get on the auditor lineup, or they'll get processing if they buy an e-meter, or they buy an e-meter for the org so that they can get audited on that. But auditors in Scientology organizations, sometimes they use their own meter, but sometimes they will the org has a stock of e-meters that they use. So it's all over. They're just trying to, and that's another thing. Golden Era Productions is a Scientology organization that makes the e-meters, and they sell them to other Scientology organizations. So the money is really just, coming out of this pocket and going into this pocket kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So check this out. Mel says, in my 8th grade class, a boy said, Mike Rinder's my hero.
Wow.
Even really good people like him get brainwashed by cults and do bad things.
That's funny.
But now it says 1 of 2, but I don't see part 2 here. And actually, I didn't realize that's exactly what it said when I clicked on it. But
what was the time? What's the time on it, Aaron?
Oh, I see it.
5:15.
Okay, I'll find the other part. I'll find the other part. 5:15. I'll find the other part. Keep reading. I'll find the other part.
Well, okay. I saw one from Mary that's really cracking me up. So Mary Khan, so this whopping $5 gets split 4 ways. Where does it go? $3 to SPTV, $1 to YouTube. So, okay. So Mary, it doesn't get split 4 ways.
No, Aaron takes it all.
Yeah, Aaron gets it all.
No, Mary, it depends on which channel you're actually commenting on. So like if Mary's probably like, oh my God, I didn't realize I was, we're streaming on 4 different channels. So we're streaming on my channel, Mark's channel, Mike's channel, Amy's channel, whichever channel you make the super chat on, the super chat goes to that channel. So there you go. That's how it works. In my 8th grade class, a boy said, okay, so that was part 1.
Yeah. And did you find part 2, Mark?
No, there's 207. Oh no, it's not in 715. So I just finished 715. Now I'm going through. It probably is going to be later.
I'll pull up some other ones.
You had to type
Claire says, Mike, I just saw that your book is finally on Audible in the UK. Can't wait to get it finally.
Yeah, well, it's actually been there for a couple of months now, but glad you found it.
Nice.
Awesome.
There are massive impacts and shudders going through this building. So
you're having an earthy quake?
No, I mean literally, if it's like an elevator, like crack. I mean, it's really like the whole building is.
That's probably
an earthquake, Aaron.
Not constantly shaking. It's like boom. Anyway, it's weird. Maybe maybe it is an earthquake. We'll see. I saw here we go. Okay. Claire will be a Zen master during Defense's Cross. She'll be unshakable, relaying unassailable personal experience receipts. Yes, and thank God at least it's going to be Sean Hawley crossing her, because I would feel really bad to see Philip Cohen do his little always being exasperated and frustrated at every little tiny thing, while Claire is there being like an angel, an unflappable angel. Sean Hawley was much more professional and I'd just say nice, you know, where it wasn't like, what's wrong with you? You know? So, anyway, better strategy for the defense for Sean Hawley to do it than, because Sean Hawley did say she was going to be the one crossing Claire. So that'll be interesting. Let's see. John, funny story. I got a Scientology cross tattoo when I was 18. When the LC saw it, she told me I had to get the registered symbol tattooed next to it.
Oh, that's so ridiculous.
Oh my God.
That is amazing.
That is the greatest.
For anybody who doesn't know, the
If
LC is the LRH COM, and it's
Yeah.
the person who's there's one in every single Scientology organization, even Golden Era Productions. It doesn't matter. They all are supposed to have an LRH COM, and that person is responsible to make sure that L. Ron Hubbard policy is applied 100%. And so him getting a cross that doesn't have the copyright or the little registered symbol next to it is off policy.
Yeah. But listen, this happened with Tommy Davis. He got the Sea Org symbol
Yes.
tattooed, and David Miscavige didn't like it because it's a copyrighted
That's
symbol.
That's exactly right. I heard that
tattoo.
story from Dave.
Yeah.
It's a copyright
No
infringement.
way.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never heard him say that?
No.
Yes. He said, this guy, I remember it because it was one of those times when he was teasing about me. I have a DM tattoo. And he said, this guy's got his initials tattooed on his shoulder. And this guy's got a Sea Org cross. And he doesn't even own that.
Okay, what's this, guys? Jeff Hawkins says, remember when Bruce Plotz sang the theme
Yes.
from Shaft?
Oh
Yes.
That was one of the best things ever.
Oh my
Ever.
gosh. Yeah, this technician dude. Well, this is some seriously inside baseball. And we do have 57 more questions. This technician guy named Bruce, he never slept. Never. He was always up fixing something that was broken somewhere on the property, audio, visual, technical, super electronic stuff. And he was like, boo, 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 boo. He would kind of like mumble through things. And we would have these shuffle through things. And we had this performance where the Golden Era musicians did a song. And it was also when Isaac Hayes was doing lots of stuff with the Golden Era musicians. So this guy, this technician guy, he was Shaft, and he sang the Isaac Hayes song,
But
Shaft.
he came up. He was tracing a chord because he's a technician. He was all the way up to the stage. He was tracing this chord in his white overcoat that looked like a technician. Then he throws off his overcoat and starts singing this song.
He's like looking to see where the mic is, and everybody thought he was literally going up there to fix a microphone because that was his job.
Yeah.
And he grabs the microphone and then he whips open his thing. He's like, "Who is the man?" Like that, and it was pretty amazing.
Can you dig it?
Jen Nelson says, Mike, you brought up the wall in Germany. My uncle was stationed in Germany when the wall came down, and he brought home a piece of the wall for my grandma.
That's cool.
Having
I
a
didn't
piece
get
of
a
that
piece
would
of
be
the wall
cool.
when I was there.
Look at this one. Apollonia Paradise. Also, Juliette Lewis in Yellow Jackets. She's trying to get an old friend out of a cult. What?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like
No
art,
irony
life
here.
entertaining art where you got, what's her name? Jenna
Liz
Elfman,
Moss.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Moss, Giovanni. They were all on shows about cults.
Mhm.
What is Jenna
Open your
Elfman in?
eyes.
Oh, she was on she's been in a lot of things that Scientology wouldn't necessarily approve of. Check her out in Shameless, season 3, I think it is. But isn't she on like The Walking Dead or something like that?
I don't know.
Fear the Walking Dead, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is she?
I think she is. That's what I'm told. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, hey, did we ever find part 2 of this story?
I didn't. I really
Dag on it.
No, we
All
didn't.
right.
This is
All
it.
right.
This is the
But
same person.
I did appreciate your comment.
Yes.
There you go. Okay, declared Dave loves suppressive sherry. Sent Mini Mike bobblehead pic to Claire of Cincinnati, Org a few weeks ago. Surprised there were actually a few suspicious cars in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Suspicious
Hey,
cars.
I'm going to
They were
say
probably
this now,
paying for
just as
parking.
long as this guy brought it up. If you send in a picture of your Mike bobblehead, do one with the bobblehead and do one without, because we're being asked for some of these pictures by other groups and other people. And it's great that I have a picture of the Cincinnati Org with 2 cars in it, but there is this little gray little toy in the front of the picture, and that's not always the best
gray
look.
little toy. That's how you describe it.
Well, I'm just saying,
Gray little toy.
a professional
A
person
very
that's
gray,
asking
very
for
gray,
pictures.
old.
Hey, yeah, I'm not going to say anything, but never mind. I just got some
All
hot
right.
skinny. Be
Nice.
ready after lunch.
Nice. Oh yeah. Tammy. Oh yeah. Well, I said that earlier.
Yeah.
I
You
just
did.
got
Okay.
I just got
Nice.
the
The official
confirmation. Just official word.
Tammy producer says no question. Just wanted to say love y'all. Keep on keeping on.
Hi, Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy. Danny Yates says, love these streams. Goes to show how Scientology controlled information, as each of you are always finding out new info. Yeah,
That's
that
true.
Yeah,
is-
it's
it's
siloed.
really- yes. I don't know what this means, guys. Ethan Hargan, the RAC wants in. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I thought it's not the Royal Canadian Air Force. Anybody know what the RAC is? No, going once. Okay. Dave
Sorry.
Bowen, are you allowed to drink coffee or beer in the Sea Org? Coffee, yes.
Yeah.
You get in
Beer-
trouble
on
for
coffee.
drinking beer, even though the reason you're not allowed to drink beer in the Sea Org, theoretically speaking, is only because every single day you're supposed to do a little bit of course time, and you're not allowed to go on course if you've had beer within 24 hours. So if you were to have drunk beer, and then like you'd be in so much trouble for putting a beer over your course time. Now, but if you have the next day off and you're not supposed to go on course, technically you shouldn't get in trouble for drinking a beer, but I feel like you would anyway.
And it's just not a normal thing because you don't have a lot of time off and you don't have a lot of money. And so it's kind of like, I wouldn't spend it on beer. Although I have to tell this story now that you said
Oh God,
this.
here we go.
Okay. We had a party and it was like a Christmas party or something. It was in the early 90s. Claire was an RTC. And because Claire was an RTC, I would drive the RTC guys a lot. And I would drive them home and I would drive them all over the place late at night. And I had a van because I carried my shoot crew around in it. And I would just drive them to their apartments. Anyway, I got told when we were going to have a Christmas party that I had to drive these guys, but I was going to try to drink some rum because I really like rum. I was going to try to drink some rum that night and I couldn't. So I got 2 Gatorade bottles and I filled them with rum and I put them in a little thing. And I said, when I get home, I'm going to have a nightcap. Anyway, I put them under the sink in our room. And then I never saw them ever again. But when I was in Denmark, David Miscavige, he didn't see me when I was there. And he said, oh, you're a criminal. You didn't come say hi to me. Da, 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 da. So RTC went to I was in Denmark. They went to my room at the base and they went through and searched my whole place. And they found those 2 little Gatorade bottles from a few years before. And so when I got back, they thought I was an alky because I had bottles of Gatorade and little rum bottles. And it was like this big thing. And I was like, why are you guys asking me all these questions about the booze? And they're like, we found your stash, Mark. I was just like, what?
Time for you to confess.
Okay.
So
Okay, here we go.
Oh my
Some more-
God,
some
we're
more-
at 158.
And we're
More
also
merch
at
ideas.
4622. We only need
We
another
need 40 more.
30 more.
Yeah.
DM's face on urinal cakes
Yeah.
or on Target stickers for public toilets. God, that would be
Yes.
amazing.
Those have been suggested before. You know what? I haven't really approved of that in the past because I think that's demeaning, but I'm putting it down under Dave on a shelf and the temporary tattoos. What we calling it? We're going to call them.
Urinal
I
cakes.
just so you know, I've already done the artwork and everything. They're called Davy Cakes and I've already researched it and I almost pulled the trigger on a PO and this might seal the deal. Davy Cakes might be a thing.
What is this one referring to, guys? Lane Berlin. Legally, how did David Miscavige acquire the rights to books that LRH wrote? Isn't that a separate deal from Scientology, the religion? Did someone say something about this?
No,
No,
Authored
and he
Services
doesn't
has
have
the
the-
rights.
Yeah.
No, CST owns the rights. CST
Right.
owns the copyrights and the trademarks to everything in Scientology.
And but ASI collects the royalties on the sales of those books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, one last one here, and then we'll do the last giveaway. I assume Radley says, I assume that Luke Watson and Bree Schaefer are not being called for the defense because the testimony wouldn't be good. So why don't we call them? Any ideas who's going to be called? So the answer is because the prosecutors have come to understand that you put any of these people on the stand and they're just going to lie.
Exactly.
Exactly right.
They're worthless. They're worthless witnesses. They're just going to lie.
Yep. And sincerely lie.
Right. And in the process, say a bunch of false bullshit that's going to stick in the jury's mind, even though objection, they're already going to do anything they can to spoil the jury with a bunch of lies up there. And it's not worth the juice is not worth the squeeze.
That's right. The best Scientologist, as they say, as the saying goes, the best Scientologist is an ex-Scientologist.
Hey,
I want to
just be 4646.
Oh,
yeah, the highest.
58.
I was noting the highest that it got while we were talking was 4,671.
Nice.
So
Look at
that
Amy
is a
with
record,
the math
isn't it?
here.
Oh, yeah.
Hip, hip.
And I want to say one. Hip hip hooray! Everyone goes
Hip
right
hip
into unison.
hooray. 3 cheers.
We used to have to do
for
that.
The Commodore.
We used to do
Hip,
that
hip,
about
hooray.
20 times an event.
Oh yeah, hip hip hooray! You never knew if you should be standing up or sitting down. You're getting up so often. But let me say one thing because I saw a lot of questions on this about. I do not have a website, so there's whoisamyscobie.com. That's Scientology's website. The WordPress is somebody else's website, even though it looks like it's for me. And then there's another Scobie Publishing website with gambling stuff on it, even though it talks about me. I don't know why.
Wow.
None of those are mine. None of those are mine. Where you can find me is on YouTube, and my email, which is scobiepublishing@gmail.com. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay.
Taking links out of description now.
We are going to do the countdown
Okay.
Yeah.
for the autographed, personalized copy of A Billion Years. And if you miss out, you can order it on my website, on my blog anyway. You just have to pay for it then. Okay, so here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kaboom.
Me. Declared Dave loves suppressive sherry. He was very popular tonight.
Yeah.
Declared
Okay.
Dave. Good coming out. Has he been on your channel before, Aaron?
I don't recognize the screen name.
Wow. Good for you, Declared Dave.
Me either. Okay, Declared Dave loves suppressive sherry. Go to my blog, MikeRindersblog.org. Click on Contact Me and send me an email.
There we go.
I will respond and include in that email what you want me to say in the book and the address to send it to.
Fantastic. Hey, this has been another successful episode of SPTV.
Yes.
Anything else?
Thank you
No,
guys for having me
nothing.
on with you.
Don't forget to
It was a
subscribe.
pleasure.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to push the like button, whatever it is that you're supposed to do on YouTube.
Yes. Like
All those things.
All those things.
All 4 of us go from one to the other and subscribe and like.
Well, also, just so you know, when we hit 30,000, the Blown for Good site is at 29,512 right now. When we click over 30,000, we go through the comments and we give away a book. So if you're on my channel, if you ask for a book, when it ticks over to 30,000, you get picked and we send somebody a free book. So
amazing.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Yay.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.